get started and we'll kind of talk. I was about this, yeah. So we'll go into that. So basically, yeah. So like I said, don't be sorry because obviously everybody gets busy and stuff. And my friend, right? My friend who helped me out through a really bad time. Like I've had a few people help me out through really, really bad times, and I got to be thankful for that and count my blessings and stuff, which is hard sometimes. But what I was gonna say was is we all get busy. If I kind of reach out or you reach out and there's reciprocation, that's what I think like friendships are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if one of us was to reach out and there was nothing there, then obviously it's like okay, kind of like seems like it would be done at that point, right? But no, I think when I reach out or you reach out, like whether it be DM or something like that, we're chill. So I just whatever happens, I just hope the best for people in general, for you and stuff. How am I doing? I kind of burnt myself out about 4 to 5 days ago. Um, Actually, I was playing this game. I actually ended it on this, actually, which is, and yeah, it was, the problem is I don't know how it acted. I was kind of like bitching about dating a decent amount. I don't want to be negative, because I obviously know dating is what it is. It can be good or bad, but there obviously, logic-wise, there's like kind of a lot of stuff people you have to filter through, I guess. Um, but I feel like I was being a little bit negative. And basically, I don't really feel out my emotions. When I lost my friendship last year, I kind of just had to go straight into helping my brother and his dad. And when his dad got more serious, I kind of did that. And I think I'm helping myself out, but I'm not. And I think everybody needs to take time to meditate. It could be prayer, it could be meditation, doesn't matter what it is. Take time to yourself. Just don't think about anything. Literally just feel your emotions. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to be angry, be angry. If you're happy, happy, that's fine. But like, you don't feel those emotions, which, I think I have a pretty decent emotional intelligence, but I don't do what's necessary sometimes because I just don't realize it. And what's up, Max? And I think the biggest thing, well, let's open some packs, I guess. I think the biggest thing is like I have to be aware of it, and if I'm not aware of it, that's what's going to happen. So overall, I'm doing better now, but I was like, fuck it, I want to just stop streaming. I want to fucking, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm tired of this stuff. Like, I wanted to like just delete everything and just go hiding, and just like, I'm more of a sensitive, emotional person, right? So for me, I'm logical too as well. I'm like, okay, let's just calm down, take a few days, and kind of come back to it. And I have to kind of like check myself. So, because I thought I was being too negative, and I honestly there's like I said, my friendship last year never really felt out. I went from that place to this place to help my brother's dad out pretty quick, and then on top of that, I lost a friendship this year, and then there was a girl. I don't really get attached to girls too much, and there's been like 2 girls I've gotten attached to in the last like 3 years. Both of them were at the gym and actually both had very similar interests that like I had. But I notice when I get kind of like more depressed, like if I'm still feeling like I have an attachment, which I kind of do, it's fine because I never took care of that attachment. Like I got to take care of myself. Like, and I'm saying this right now because I even talked to Max about it in like Discord and stuff. I vented a lot because I don't mind venting in Discord. I'm not saying this to bitch. I'm saying it because I want to like educate myself and educate people. Take time in your day, like one day or like an hour or two, just sit there by yourself doing something very relaxing or nothing at all and feel your emotions out. I can't stress it enough because like the past few days I tried calming down because I was so distracted by games, by lifting, by trying to keep my diet up, by my finances, my investments and shit like that, that I never really took time to myself. And when I did, it was horrendous. The first day was fucking horrendous. It was terrible. I felt so much fucking pain. And then the second day was a bit better. And then obviously as I kind of go by, I'm starting to feel stuff. So like I'm feeling like, the loss of my friendships. I'm feeling like, like the loss of a perceived opportunity with a girl at the gym and stuff like that. And it happens like, and it's like, there's a part of me that's like, basically whatever happens. If like if my friend wants to kind of like work, well, he obviously doesn't, but like theoretically, if he wanted to work it out, it'd be different. But it's just like the thing is like even with the girl at the gym, if she wanted to talk to me, and that's fine. If she doesn't, it's like I have to accept whatever fucking happens, right? Theoretically, and I think you just have to sit there And it's not about being defeated. It's not about being defeated in any sort of way. It's about accepting. Accepting doesn't mean you're being defeated. It just means you're kind of accepting whatever happens and moving on to try to do something else, I guess. Have a few good, but quite burn yourself. Yeah, it's a reoccurring thing I keep doing. I always burn myself out. The problem was I was burning myself out before. I was doing 12 to 16 hour days speed running. And I was like, oh, how am I burning myself out? I'm only playing like, 4 to 5 hours, maybe 6 hours, 7 hours a day at most. And it's like, that's the thing, is you're not taking breaks. You're doing something or something else. I'm not watching like streams. I'm not like taking actual time to like kind of like relax myself. So I think it's crucial. And I actually did some research too. So education-wise, I try to educate. I try to educate myself. So what I've learned is this. Wait, did they update this at all? Or I don't see any of the other, like the Pokemon things. Oh, there it is right there. But basically, here's what it comes down to. God, my mindset's not been great. I've been forgetting stuff. Like, I know I'm not in the best of moods, but I'm not in the worst of moods. Like, I basically left out about $20 worth of fucking salmon last night because I was so stressed. I've just been stressed out. And guess where that went? In the trash, because I left out the whole night. I was so upset with myself. But I told myself earlier, when I found, I was like, it's okay. You're stressed out. You're taking care of yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Just sit there with your emotions, cry, be angry, do whatever you need to do. Just, like, because I think what happens is I think the body intuitively knows what it needs to do once you kind of take time to kind of process stuff. And just, like, go through those emotions. And I don't really do that much. I never really did it at all, actually. Like, I feel like I have, but I don't, so. Yeah, and I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to, like, vent in a way where I'm kind of bitching or moaning. But I want to try to, like, help people out, I guess, because, like, I really want to try to help, I guess. Educate. But take everything what I say with a grain of salt, because, I mean, like, like, some things are good for some people, might not be good for others. Like milk, right? Like, oh, some people are lactose intolerant. Great, that's bad for them, but, I drink milk, so it's like, everything is to each their own, I guess. But I'm doing a little better. It's just, if I have to take a break, I take a break. If I just, like, I just need to take care of myself. But being the reality of it is I'm going to yap a lot, by the way. So I took about 4 to 5 days off, and I apologize if I was being negative. The problem is I don't know how negative I'm being. I might have been not that negative. Maybe I'm just like kind of venting normally. The problem with me is I'm very intense emotional-wise. Like, I'm very sensitive and emotional, intense-wise. That even though, like, I might feel very miserable and depressed inside, I might not show it a whole lot. A lot of it happens internally, but I can't understand that because my emotions cloud my judgment of how I actually see myself. I could see myself in my past broadcasts and be like, okay, that wasn't that bad. That was whatever, this or that. It is what it is, right? Like, I still, sometimes it's hard to tell. But when you're kind of in your own little head, you're kind of in that emotional, it's like an emotional fog or emotional kind of storm, guys, I guess, where you're kind of clouded by your judgment, your logic at that point, so. But anyways, like I said, I'm yapping a lot, but how's the new job going? How's everything with that? Because I know you talked about that. Yeah, I haven't streamed like 4 to 5 days. That's probably like the longest I haven't streamed. And I might even just, not stream tomorrow. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just want to see how it goes. And I'll never stop playing games because I've noticed one thing that happens with me is when I play games, yes, it's kind of an escape. Yes, it can be an addiction. But if I play games casually and I have like a nice atmosphere in a game, or if I'm watching something on Twitch that's nice and atmosphere, like, I was watching a lot of Bob Ross, it almost gives me a relaxing sensation to where I can kind of go through my thoughts a little bit easier, if that makes sense. So the last 4 to 5 days, there's been a lot of stuff I've been kind of like thinking through deeply about stuff and just feeling that pain and kind of getting better. Like, I'm not obviously perfect. I'm going to probably take more days off when I need to. I think this will get better to where I can start streaming a lot more again too as well. But I got really emotional. I said, oh, I don't want to stream, fuck all this. And it's like, I think I was just hurt because there's so much that's happening, I'm not taking care of myself. Yeah, and I don't want to do that because, like, I used to kind of feel like I used to kind of do that a little bit, Max, to be honest. And I appreciate the input because, honestly, it does help. It makes me feel better. Because I know about 3 years ago, actually, the attachment at the gym. There was one girl I was pretty attached at the gym, like, 3 years ago. Like I said, just like I was last year. At beginning of this, all that stuff, it's still there, but like the first one's kind of gone. But the fact of the matter is, I vented to my friend so much about this, and I didn't recognize it at first, right? But I'm so glad that I'm a very smart, aware person. You'll never hear me compliment myself like that. Like emotionally intelligent, I should say. Because I asked him like, hey, am I venting to you too much? He's like, yeah, a bit. I'm like, shit, dude, I'm so sorry. Because I have to realize that I don't mind venting if it's very serious, but I have to realize that my friend, is going through a lot too. He has his girlfriend, his kid, his job and stuff like that. He has some other, everybody has their own issues, just adults and all that stuff. And so when I was going through this past week, I vented to someone a little bit. I vented to someone else, and then I had a VC last night with a few people, and then it was fine. I'm not trying to do that to everybody. It's just unfair. And I think the best way to put it is one of my friends was willing to help, actually, like kind of going out of their way a little bit to make sure that it was okay. And that made me feel kind of good because but the same thing is like, I said, hey, look, I've vented to you a few times. I appreciate the calls, but I just need to kind of just deal with this myself for today because I don't want to do that to people. And it's not that I'm not trying to be like, the whole man up thing, because obviously I'm for a balance of, having those all emotions, but at the same time, I do think I just need to kind of confront stuff by myself too as well. So yeah. But I feel like I kind of feel like I should apologize, but I just don't know how I came off, because I just know I'm deeply my emotions, like obviously like the trigger that I had from like the events that happened recently, and even realizing that like when I got really depressed and I got really lonely. There's a lot of anger, then it kind of went to a lot of depression and stuff, and just realizing, wow, I never really took care of the attachment I had with this one girl, and it's like now it's coming back up because it's like shit, like the thing is like I don't want to go too much into all of it as a whole, at least with that, because I think that's a touchy subject for me that kind of hurts. I know when I usually get pretty attached to a girl, it feels like I'm on a skyscraper where there's like a fucking massive earthquake and the whole place is fucking on fire, and I don't know, like, and that's basically how it feels when I get attached to a girl like that, when I get really attached. So obviously, like, I was basically told I wasn't being bothered or ignored, or I'm sorry, being a bother, but then I was ignored, and so like I'm just gonna walk out of there and walk out of that situation. But in the process, I didn't really take care of those emotions. So now that emotion is coming back up, I'm lonely. It's like, okay, my brain is going back to the last attachment that I had, which was the girl at the gym. And it's like, okay, how do we deal with this right now? It's not really about her, whether, obviously cool, chill person from what I know about, great. But obviously words not meeting actions at that point, right? I trust actions more than I trust words, because you're not straight up communicating to me certain things. So I trust the actions of you ignoring me more than anything else. And what that tells me is, okay, I don't want to talk to you. So even though there was words that were said, I've dealt with stuff in my past. I've learned a lot of things. But long story short, I say this to educate. Basically, when I don't know if this happens with other people, but don't take care of your emotions. Past shit can come up, whether it be with a person, whether it be with an event, and it can kind of flare up. And I think this is a little bit about her, because I do think that she was a pretty good match for me, but at the same time, it's not about her, because I didn't know her that well. It's more of like a deeper rooting issue. So now I have to go back further and kind of take care of it, which I've never done. And I think I've tried to, but I think the best way to do it, like meditation, prayer, whatever it needs to take. I mean, I'm not just talking about me, with like in general with people. I guess for me in general, it'd be like kind of just, meditation, I guess. But it comes down to just like taking care of yourself, feeling your emotions out. Like I said, I can't stress that enough. Like, sit with yourself for an hour. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to fucking be angry, be angry. If you want to punch a pillow, fucking punch a pillow, dude. Because the thing is, it's like, it's going to come out in some form or way. I've seen it come out. I've seen people repress emotions, and I've seen the consequences of it. Right? Like, I've seen it. I've seen it on a lesser scale in real life, but I've also seen it on a major scale. I talked about before how a lot of the mass shootings, I think, is caused by mental health. These men don't know how to emotional regulate themselves. What do? You go to a school, you fucking shoot it up. You go to a fucking mall, you shoot it up. Why? Because you're angry at the fucking world. Why are you angry at the world? They're angry for some reason. Obviously, there's different reasons, but it's like, you don't feel your emotions out, you're gonna get really depressed. You cause suicide, you cause, like I said, the homicide, the mass shootings and stuff. If it gets severe enough, obviously, right? Extreme cases. So I'm just yapping right now because I'm opening cards and stuff. But I do think that I want to keep talking about, like, I don't want to do this all the time. I want to create, like, I want to, obviously talk about different stories, fun stories, interesting stories, have fun. But I want this to be a fucking part of my stream for sure, too, as well, because it is extremely important for me. Oh yeah, so the things I learned, let's go with that. The things I learned in psychology. So what I looked up was a few different things. So I looked up, obviously, sitting with yourself, because I sat with my emotions. I'm like, I wonder what the actual benefits are of doing this afterwards, right? So I sat with my emotions. I researched earlier today, actually. There's a lot of benefits with sitting with yourself to your emotions. There's better emotional regulation, stuff like that. There's a lot of benefits. One thing I looked up too, because I was just looking up random stuff, was they actually did a study, and I know I talked about it before, but never in detail. There was a study done in the 1940s, 1950s, where there was like basically a group of babies that got all their physical needs met, right? All the physical needs were met, but there was no love or attention. They only got whatever they needed, and that was it. Well, basically, very cruel experiment because babies were dying. Well, apparently the babies that didn't die, what ended up happening to them, by the way, that's a very extreme case, by the way, very extreme case. The babies that didn't die basically grew up like animals. They couldn't communicate. They almost grew up like they were, it was just, they couldn't learn. And what basically what the whole thing of that is love, touch, and affection actually helps regulate the nervous system and hormones when you're growing up. There is something called failure to thrive. That is something when you grow up, when you're a kid, obviously, like, within the first months of having basically baby, and I kind of grew up in general. And wow, open up 10,000 card packs. And what that means is, like, you're basically stunted, like, in some form or way. If it's severe enough, then you die. It's failure to thrive. So that's another thing too as well. So I looked that up too as well. So you need that love and affection as a kid, like as a baby. Like we're talking about like months old, to help regulate your hormones and nervous system. If you don't have that, like you're basically you're kind of fucked actually. You're very fucked. You kind of grew up with like you grew up slow. Like you can't like learning like language and stuff like that is like almost impossible. I know there was someone there was like it was a girl or a boy. I don't know exactly. It was over in France somewhere where they lived in the wild. They don't even know where the kid came from. The kid just lived in the wild. It was a girl or a boy. They tried feeding it and all that stuff, and they tried like but the kid would escape every time. But there was one time I think the kid was living with somebody, and they tried to teach the kid basically how to talk and this and that. It was just like it was like almost impossible. So so what I was kind of like basically doing is I was kind of researching some psychology stuff along with that, and then yeah, kind of just doing that type of stuff. But we'll see. Like if I stream tonight for an hour, I stream for an hour. I stream for 2, I stream for 2. If I want to, stop in 10 minutes, I'll stop in 10 minutes. But just know that I'm not like a crazy amount better. Like I'm definitely better to enough to where I can kind of create a purpose for myself again. Nice, some rollers. Like I can do this because this is, I think, a good purpose for me to have. And if I need something else, if that was going to be something else, it could be something else too as well. If I really need it to be, like, if this is like really mentally stressing me out and not good for me. But I think I make it not good for me. But yeah, no, I just still do. I feel somewhat depressed, and I'm going through a wave of loneliness, which I've gone through before. And when I go through these, I kind of just usually write it out. There's been a few times where I've kind of dated in this type of mindset. I don't think it's the worst thing. I don't think it's the best thing. I think it's how you deal with it as opposed to anything else, right? Like, if you can kind of control your emotions, which feelings are different than actions. I say that all the time because if I didn't realize feelings were different than actions, I feel really fucked up because, obviously, like, I have a lot of issues. We all have issues. But, like, how I feel is never how... Like, I don't act on my feelings. Like that type of stuff, so. I have food here, by the way. That's to eat, because I have not been eating a whole lot, either. I've been working out, though, which is good, but working out has been helping me, which is actually very alarming. Usually working out helps. It could be the time of year, too, as well. Darker, all this other stuff, holidays. I think it's kind of playing an effect, but I do believe there's... The 2 major triggers was the friend and then the situation here that I talked about a little bit. So... Yeah, so there's that. We can kind of go on to other stuff now. I don't want to go on and on about random shit. I mean, I'd like to. It's just I want to be more, like I said, I want to be educational, entertaining. I want to be kind of funny. I want to do other stuff. I want to be multifaceted with my streams. But I feel like I had to kind of talk about that because I feel like the last 3 times I talked about dating and negative about it. You know what that means though? It means I'm fucking hurt, dude. I'm serious. Like I'm not gonna bullshit. I'm fucking hurt. I'm in pain. Like, you know, when you try to date and things don't go right, and, you know, this and that, it sucks. And it's like, you know, for me, I don't date often because I'm very emotional and very sensitive. So like, I kind of get worn out quick by it. Like I kind of like, I don't do anything. Like I said, anything out here is whatever. Like you'll see whatever. It's more of inside here and regulating it and I'm appropriate with it, but it's just hard. And you know, if I'm bitching about something, it means it's hurting me. That's kind of with anybody though. Like you look at any fucking streamer, you look at all these toxic streamers. It's so easy to see these toxic streamers are insecure or they're in pain in some way. Normal people don't get fucking ragey all the time, dude. They might get upset once in a while and kind of do certain things, that's fine. But to get fucking completely ragey, like how I was or how certain streamers are, that's not really that, I don't think that's that normal. At least what I'm seeing, at least, because it means you're unhappy. So obviously, like, I talk about never dating again and this and that, and I probably won't, honestly. I mean, I might, but it's like, the thing is I don't see myself doing it anytime soon. But it just means that I'm just in pain. So, like, the past 3 streams I had before this one, I felt like it was building up to, like, you know, kind of like, you know, making myself almost more depressed by talking about it too much. Talking about it a little bit's fine. Talking about it too much is gonna really kind of jam it in your fucking head to, like, you know, it's not good. So, but, and I just kind of feel embarrassed too, because I do feel like when I posted and venting, like, oh, I don't want to stream again, this and that, but it's like, that's how I felt. Because like I said, I was just kind of hurt by stuff and just kind of like didn't take care of my emotions and burnout, so it is what it is, I guess, huh? Well, we're back to this. I'll probably play a fan mission later too as well if I feel up to it. I just need to make sure I'm keeping my calories up. I gotta work out tomorrow. I don't even feel like stream my workouts, to be honest, right now, so I'm not. I might like just film it for my coach. I almost like don't want to film for my coach. Dude, I went to the gym like 2 to 3 days ago, and one of the trainers there was like, are you okay? I'm like, not really. Because I was just being honest. I was fucking, dude, working out is not even helping me right now. Like, I'm feeling a little bit better, obviously, or I wouldn't be streaming. But he was just like, you okay? I was like, not really. He's like, yeah, I could tell. Like, you're just sitting there on the bench press, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, I don't want to show it. So, like, I was, like, self-conscious after that. I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, okay, gotta hide it a little bit. Just kind of act like, don't have as a depressed face. So, it is what it is. I think I just have to... and I don't mind talking about it. Some people might think this is oversharing. That's another thing I looked up. Oversharing. Like, what is oversharing? How much is too much? How much is not enough, right? I don't fucking know. Why? Because I know social cues a decent amount, because obviously over the past years, you know, I've obviously talked about it. I've learned social skills when I was like 19, 20. That doesn't mean because I went to like the skating rink. I went out a little bit before then, and there's a few people that knew me, but I was very shy, very quiet, and kind of didn't know what to do. Kind of like always kind of like inside, kind of like not sure what to do. But not until it was 1920 until I started getting out on my own and going to the skate park, which got me my social skills and kind of helped along with that, create friendships and all this other stuff. That's when I started getting social skills. So as of right now, it's hard for me to dictate what is oversharing, what's not oversharing. Like, am I doing this in an educational way? Is this entertaining? Is this not entertaining? There goes my overthinking again, right? Basically, right? So, basically, like, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to dictate what is too much and what is not enough sometimes. Because I feel like the biggest thing is when you hold in stuff for, like I said, you hold in stuff for most of your life, and when you start trying to heal and you start venting, it feels good. But obviously there's a time and place, and how much you say, and then what's good, and this and that, and all that stuff. So, like, you know, I just don't know sometimes. I just don't know what is too much. I don't know. Like, I do feel like, you know, no, I do know what is too much and not enough, but maybe when it comes to the fine line of things, I'm not sure, I guess is what I should say. So, but I definitely think one of the things I need to work on is the fear of inadequacy, that I have to fight for myself as a person to be valued, whether it be playing games, creating good content, or like being good at games, or lifting heavy weights, or like being successful, you know, financially and stuff like that. Like, I gotta get all that shit out of my head. Like, you have to just basically be okay as a person and find someone who's just going to be, you know, people, like, you know, whether it be relationship or friendship, that are going to care for you how you are and basically not give a fuck about, like, you busting your ass. I mean, it's fine to bust your ass, but, like, the intention of it, I guess. That's one of the biggest things. And then abandonment too is another one that I'm working on too as well. So I don't mind talking about it. It's whatever. I'm not going to talk about it all the time, but I think I'm talking about it a shit ton now because after the last time I streamed, I feel like took 4 to 5 days off, but I felt like it was not the best. So, but it's good to know that Max is saying it wasn't as bad as I thought, I guess, because in here it's a fucking mess sometimes. You know, like it's just. I feel like it's just a shit show. Yeah, it's a shit show. But maybe it wasn't. So, yeah. I think way too much about stuff. It's not a bad thing. How many packs have we opened so far? God, jeez. I feel like I've been talking more than I've opened packs. You need any help with anything? Okay, just let me know. Yeah, I'll be here. Right now or when? Okay. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna about 10 minutes help my brother's dad out, so I'll just stop the... I'm recording right now. This is all for YouTube as well, so like I do all this for... Like, I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube. My playthroughs are separate videos for YouTube, like kind of like almost like kind of past broadcasts minus like the breaks I take in between, because I like doing it. So why not, right? So, and it's so funny how I tell myself certain things like, oh yeah, I don't mind this or I don't mind that, and it could be something minimal, but then it just builds and builds and builds, or if like something else triggers it, it just builds and stuff, and then all of a sudden everything bothers me. Everything comes out, even the little stuff. It's like, damn, I didn't think that bothered me. Well, that's cool. Now it bothers me now for some reason. So, like I said, be aware of yourself, take care of yourself, especially your mental health. Like, I can't stress enough. I know I've said like 2 or 3 times, but like, sit with yourself. Even if it's just like, here's the thing, like you go to the gym to work out to get stronger, right? You're not going to be able to bench like 315, 405 in like, you know, basically like, you know, a week or something like that. So if you have to sit with yourself for like 10 or 15 minutes with meditation, with prayer, whatever you want to do, just to feel out your feelings. And like I said, I feel like for me, like if you need to cry, cry. If you want to be angry, be angry. If you want to punch a pillow, like punch a pillow. Do something that's going to be like kind of appropriately taking the anger out. For me, it's usually working out, but like I kind of burn myself with everything that I just kind of sat with myself and just felt it. And it's honestly, when you go from busy and rush, I need to do this, I need to do that, to basically sitting with your fucking emotions doing nothing. Ooh boy, that first day or two is fucking brutal. It hurts. It's painful. It is fucking painful. But like I said, just, you know, there's benefits to it too as well, obviously, but just do what you need to do. Do 10 minutes or something like that. Then maybe do 20, or do 10, take a break, do another 10. But work towards, like, actually just working through that shit. Because it's just, if you don't work through your past emotions, one, you can repeat the cycle of shit that you're going through, like history repeats itself, right? Or you're just gonna kind of be like, you know, like, maybe not as happy as you would be, or maybe kind of like just a lot of things, honestly. But like I said, there's benefits. Like one of the benefits, the only one I remember was like emotional regulation. It was like one of the benefits. Jeez, how long have I been opening packs for, dude? It feels like it's been like a year. I got a few good cards, obviously, but nothing great. Because you know why it was nothing good? Like anything past $1,000? Because I would have seen the $1,000 card. I would have forgot the conversation I was having, focused on the $1,000 card for 5 seconds, and then anything I was talking about before, out of my fucking head. Just completely out of my head. That's how it would have went. It's literally how it would have fucking went. Okay, 2 more boxes. Jesus. We still got another 128 packs left. But I'm going to play some fan missions later too as well, because I want to do that. But like I can even see myself from the 4 to 5 days off, like after kind of like taking care of myself, being with my emotions, helping a little bit of support too with other people, but mostly by myself, and like talking about it right now. There you go, just made a fucking random joke out of nowhere, right? Like if I was still burnt out the holy shit, that's another thing too as well. You know, it's okay to not to like stream all the time, because I think the biggest thing is like when I'm trying to create content, I want it to be fun. I want it to be not like work. And sometimes I feel it's like work. I get too obsessed with it. And then I just become maybe more irritable or more depressed. And I feel like it kind of shows a little bit, as opposed to like just me actually having fun with it. I'm the type of person that loves grinding and kind of doing all that stuff. And that's fun and dandy. I think all of it's fun and dandy, but you got to take this in the factor, which I never did beforehand. Like, I would say even up to, like, you know, probably like 3, 4 years, maybe like 4 or 5 years, I don't even know how long ago, is when I really started to kind of like turn things around. It was basically after the speedrunning stuff, a little bit after the speedrunning stuff. It's like, wow, like, you know, I just thought my mental health was fine. Like, I thought my mental health was going to recover basically how I work out, or even faster, because I was like, oh, it's fine. But then you don't realize that it builds and builds and builds, and all of a sudden you have like chronic illnesses now, like, you know, like a mental illness and stuff like that. You have something going on at that point, and it's like, well, fuck, I kind of fucked up, I made a mistake, so now you're gonna have to, you know, revert back to like, or kind of go back to the drawing board and like, okay, what do we do here? So we'll see. So someone else posted besides me on the Nexus mod stuff about how they should basically um, be putting whatchamacallit, updates on. I phrased it differently. I'm like, hey, you know, are you gonna, you know, what did I even say? I don't even know what I said. I said something like, you know, I love the work. I hope you keep updating, or will you be updating? But regardless, thank you for all your hard work and stuff like that. The other person was like, oh, please update and stuff. I want to be kind of nice about it, like, not forceful, because I'm like, you know, like, they're doing it for free and stuff like that, so I'm just like, thank you for the work you have done, will you be doing more type thing, you know, to show appreciation. Hopefully, because I mean, this is basically the reason why I got the game, and regardless, I'll finish it off with this too as well. So yeah, pretty soon. Okay, let's do this. Let's open these boxes later. Because I want to get through a day before I help my brother's dad out with what he has to do. Because this content has just been basically me yapping about random shit, which is fine. I think that's who I am. I think that's what makes me unique, actually, too, as well. I wouldn't change it for anything. I wouldn't change myself for anything. You know, even though, like, there's a lot of things that are kind of not too great, there's also some things about myself I do like a lot, and you know, how I'm very persistent, like, determined, and also just very genuine, I guess, too, as well. So, I gotta compliment. It's rare you're gonna hear these compliments, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, some of the compliments I'm going off of are what people are saying, too, as well, so... I think the only thing I actually see myself as is very determined to get what I want, as in, like, you know, like, when I'm speedrunning, I'll get the time I want. If I'm playing games, I'll, you know, get that skill that I want to get and that type of stuff. But after this day, we'll help him out, and then I'll come back. I'll be gone for, like, maybe, like, 5 minutes at the most, probably. But I'm kind of glad I'm back to doing this, because it does feel good, but... logically, I have to think logically what's going to be best for me, and logically what's going to help me out, right? Like, streaming, like, until I'm basically, like, burnout to the point where I'm basically depressed as shit and lonely as shit. What is this guy doing? Oh, it's this fucking shit, I forgot. No. Is not healthy. And realizing that I have past issues coming up, too, as well, is not the best. Whatever happens in life, I have to accept it. And I should know that by now, because I've been through some pretty crazy shit, but the funny part is some of the stuff I had been through in the past, I really haven't worked through, or even mourned, to be honest, so... I feel like I'm so emotionally intelligent. I'm just so... I don't want to say dumb, but oblivious to certain things is just so funny. Alright, there you go. Have a good day, sir. Oh, we need to fucking find out if there's any stinky people in here. What did you say? This is tempting? Fucking stinky assholes. Fucking stinky people, dude. The stinky people are ruining my store is what they're doing. They're really ruining my store. I only get bad reviews because of stinky people now. I didn't know you can actually get bad reviews at first because, like, oh, hey, look, this person is, they don't have this. I don't have this. Like, if you have a license for it and you don't have it in stock, I'm pretty sure they kind of get pissed off. All you're buying is, buy something, God. I'm gonna start charging people. You spend less than $10 at my store, you're getting charged $2 fee minimum. That should be realistic. What is this? It's new. No, we're good, dude. Thanks, though. Imagine going to a store and getting sprayed by the owner. That would be so humiliating. I would never go back. I mean, okay, let's be honest. Imagine going to a store and you haven't showered to the point where there's stink lines coming off of you. There's stink lines coming off these people. I'll show you. Hold on. Hold on. There has to be someone outside that's stinky after we get this done, hopefully. I think I'd be more embarrassed about that. Honestly, if someone sprayed me, I'd be like, hey, thanks for looking out for me. Hold on, come on, hurry up. 69, that's funny. Okay, where's this? There has to be a stinker around here somewhere. Good one here. No, see, everybody's showering. Everybody's showered. You got stink lines come off of you. You're so smelly. You got stink lines coming off of you. Oh shit! When do we get these? All right. After this day, like I said, I'm gonna help them out. I just want to kind of do something besides open packs. Let me know too. I'll be there in like 5 minutes. Okay. I'll be there in like 5 minutes. You good? Alright. Yeah, he's fine. He hasn't even gotten dinner yet. He usually gets dinner by himself. So, I usually stay in the other room because it's like, I think one of the things, what was it? Too many cooks in the kitchen type thing, basically. There's certain things that kind of like, I guess upset him. 66. So, but basically all I gotta do is just, he has a glycerno, basically, that I gotta, it arrived, so I gotta just take it up and open it up and then put some in the fridge for him and stuff. And then if he needs help with anything else, obviously that too as well, but usually okay-ish for the most part. I've noticed one thing, as people get older, just like in general, like, even with my grandpa, I would say with people in general, like, I've seen it, like, whether it be firsthand or not firsthand, one of the biggest things is he can't really hear me that well. I have to usually yell, but is their sense of independence. Like they want to hold on to that very, very much so, which makes sense. But as we get older, we start losing things, and independence can be one of them, right? Because maybe it's too hard to do certain things, or this or that. That's new. Sure, I'll offer you $10.50 for it. How about that? Cool. Thanks. And it makes sense. Like I'm starting to realize a lot more now because I've seen it multiple times with multiple people. But it's a thing. And the only thing you can try to do is transition them as much as possible into a state where they have to kind of be a little bit more, dependent. But also I think having whatever independence that they have later on is crucial. Because that's going to be huge morale. Like, if you just completely lose most of it or all of it, it's just going to be... It sucks. I don't know how it's going to be. I'm hoping I'm going to stay in shape. The reason why I work out is to get strong. But the reason why I don't do steroids or don't crazy go with everything, most of the time, I did as a kid. I was kind of dumb. Or when I was younger, I should say. Is because I don't want to take the risk of injuring myself to a point where I can't do it anymore. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't know how, like I talked about it before, if I'm going to have kids, if I want kids, I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I want to be able to play with my kids. I want to be able to kind of, help them grow as much as possible. And then on top of that, I don't know how it's going to be. No, fuck you, dude. That's a ripoff. I don't know how it's going to be either. 82. If, obviously with steroids. Well, steroids I think is an insecurity as well. There's no reason to take steroids, I don't think. I mean, you can if you want. I'm not going to bash it or anything like that too much. It's just, won't bash it at all. It's what it is. Because I thought about it. Even recently I thought about it. But like I said, you know, if you want kids, could affect that too as well. Very much so. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of stuff. So I said it again. 28, 92. Alright, I need to actually do some inventory checking pretty soon. I think we should be fine for the most part. But I'm gonna okay, oh, there's Walter White right there. What are you doing? That's new. Sure, I'll just give you $7.80. Cool. Thanks. Dude, this is wild. Jeez, dude. These guys are just picking up the car. They're like vultures. They're fucking vultures. Holy shit. I put one down. Look at it. She's taking like 2. It's 3. Jesus. I mean, it's good. It's just. What do you want? No, leave me alone. Oh. See the stinky people out there? You see that, Max? You see those stinkers? You see them? You got lines coming off them. You go into a store where you got lines coming off you because you're stinking so much, you're getting sprayed. You should be embarrassed about doing that. More embarrassing to go into a store like that. I'll try to defend the stinkers. I'll try to defend the stinky people. They know what they're doing. I will say, though, I am one of those stinky people because when I get off of working out, I go straight to the store sometimes. I'm surprised no one at Safeway has sprayed me. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? Just starts spraying me with deodorant. I'm like, thanks, appreciate it. Honestly, that would be actually, honestly, I'd appreciate it actually if someone did that to me. Because I'm done with working out. I'm all sweaty and stinky. I'm not charging these guys for spraying them either. That cost me money, actually. It costs me money. It doesn't cost them money. Anybody stinky in here? It's costing me money. I ain't getting charged shit, dude. I feel myself in a better mood streaming today. I feel like I have to be very cautious, though, because I actually got to the point where I was about to hit the stream button. I'm like, do I really want to do this? How am I going to be? Do I need more time to myself? Do I not need more time to myself? It's hard, dude. Sometimes you just don't know what you want. And it's like we're humans. We're going to make mistakes, right? And one thing, too, is I'm very hard on myself when I make mistakes. If I feel like I've done something wrong to somebody, or in general, I feel really bad. And I just have to tell myself, look, you're doing your best. You're learning. It's fine. Because there's times where I was like, and I'll be honest, like I talked about like bitching about ghosting and this and that with dating. You know, maybe some people are just, they're afraid to communicate because they're afraid of getting, you know, I don't know, just any reason, right? Like, you know, you communicate something, you know, even properly with the wrong guy or something like that, or the girl, whatever. I would say guy probably, or girl too as well, but like maybe they get really angry or something like that, right? Like, I have to try to be understanding about that shit too as well. But it's just hard because it's just like, communication is so important to me. And honestly, like I said it before on stream. I said it like the 2 people that I know just know what you want to do. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just know what I want. Exactly. This is why Max he's the only reason why I'm actually streaming right now. He's my life coach. Hold on. Shit. Great. We're going back to like doing other stuff, so I just forgot the conversation. Holy shit, that's $350. But basically, like, I forgot what I was talking about. I literally forgot what the hell's going on here. Okay. Apparently he or she should, okay. But I guess basically I have to be more understanding towards people in general. Oh, 35. Whoops. As in, like, and the reason why maybe sometimes I'm not understanding about the whole ghosting thing, or like, you know, like, you know, the communication is because I want something very stable. My whole life has been unstable, so I want something stable. I talk about how dating was bad, and I had to bitch about the ghosting stuff. Maybe it's because it hurts me. It's painful. You know, abandonment issues, that type of stuff. So it makes sense. But at the same time, I'm trying to be as understanding as possible to people. But it's just like I don't feel like I get enough understanding back or compassion back sometimes. But I'll be more understanding towards people. Like, I think people need to work towards not ghosting, and we need to work towards actually communicating our feelings and make it socially acceptable and culturally acceptable to be okay. Like, I would rather tell someone, hey, look, you're not a fit for me, or, you know, I found somebody else or something, whatever, as opposed to just leaving them hang for a few weeks and then they find out that way. Because it's honestly like when you ghost somebody, you know, people hang on that stuff for a little bit. Possibly. Some people do, some people don't, maybe. You know, for me, I don't really date more than one person. I mean, like, I found out last time dating is different than actually going on dates. I don't really go on dates with more than one person at a time. The only time I did that was this last time around, about 2.5 years ago, I think it was, or so. And it felt really weird going out like that, like with more than like one person. It just felt really fucking weird. Like, I know it's normal, it's fine, but for me, it just felt weird for me. I'm just getting to know them. It's like, you know, whatever. But it's not. I gotta be honest with, like I said, like, and honestly, like, there's times where I've unintentionally ghosted too as well because I was just done with dating, and I saw people message me. I didn't message back, hey, look, I'm not dating anymore, or hey, look, I'm kind of done. I just let it be because I was just so upset and so, like, and just in pain. So, like, obviously, like, I have to realize, Jesus H, there's so many smelly people out here. Here, this is on the house. My lord. I have to be understanding of that too. If I want to be an understanding person, I can't be understanding to certain things, not other things. I have to be understanding towards everything. And I'm working towards that. I'm working towards being an understanding person towards everybody and everything. Because I want to be at peace with myself. So, maybe go afraid of rejection, both. I'm extremely afraid of rejection, dude. Like, with my history and my past, the thing is if someone tells me straight up, like, hey, look, I like you, I want to hang out with you, I want to get to know you better, I'm at peace. I'm like, you know what? Great, this is where we're going. That's fine. But if I'm caught on, like, I don't know if they like me or don't like me, assume that if you haven't told me straight up or been very, like, forward with it, then I'm going to assume you don't like me and I'm going to back off. That's what I'm going to do. Because I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. The emotional, I've been through way too much stuff. Let me read the rest of that in a second. Exactly. And I think and I have to be understanding of, like, because like I said, I've unintentionally done it. Have I actually done it in the past when I first started dating? Probably too as well. And that's just being hypocritical on my part. I just think it's the pain that caused, like, I would rather just be told, hey, look, I'm not interested or this or that, than wait for like a week or two for a response because, you know, that's unstable for me. Like, I don't know if they're going to respond, whatever. You know, even if you want to talk to somebody, like, hey, you know, I'm busy right now. I still want to talk to you, but I'm going through some stuff. Like, as in, like, work-wise or whatever. Like, you don't have to go into detail. But, like, if you want to kind of keep something going, say something. If you don't, then just be like, hey, I'm not interested. But I think ghosting someone who's genuinely interested in you hurts more than letting other people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, for me, like, when I have that unstableness, I freak out. But when I know that somebody does or doesn't want whatever at that point, when it's obviously something like, you know, then then I'm like, okay, this is a lot better. Like, I'm a lot more stable with it. Also the timing of it is, when I get really, like, it's very rare, it's a few times when I really get attached to a girl and stuff like that, right? Okay, hold on, I was trying to look at the time. It's down over here. Okay, I'm gonna go help my brother's dad out, but I'll end on this real quick. When I get really, really attached, it gets bad. It gets really bad, and I don't have control over my emotions of who I get to attach to. My emotions are based off of, like, hey, this person has a lot in common with us. They seem like they have good energy, like really good energy, and I like them. And then my brain is just like, okay, well, we haven't, like, been with anybody for a while. We've been repressing everything, so let's just dump all our emotions off on this person. That's not how it works, brain. That's not a really good idea. Like, that should not be a thing. But that tells me that it's something I need to work on, as in, like, what can I do to lessen this emotion? You know, what can I do to work on myself? But yeah, no, ghosting sucks, and it's painful. Like, I bitch about, like, the dating and ghosting because it's painful. Not all the time, because sometimes it's like you don't really have much invested. Sometimes you do, but it can be painful. On that note, I'm gonna go back. I need to help my brother's dad out real quick, and then I'll be back in like 5.